Another episode of ChamberSOUTH Spotlight. But today I have the honor of speaking with Monica Wilson from Fastest Labs of Miami. Good morning, Monica. How are you?
Good morning, Rick. I'm doing well. My pleasure to be here with you.
Good. Monica is terrified right now, but we're having a blast. Monica, tell everyone, who is Monica Wilson?
All right. So, as you know me as the owner of Fastest Labs, I run a lab that specializes in pre-screening that helps corporates and different companies in their hiring process.
Okay.
I also provide DNA services for families that want to find a little peace of mind. We do paternity and some type of siblingships, immigration as well, and also different type of screening.
Where did Monica Wilson, where was she born? What did she do? Where did she go to school? How did she become an entrepreneur? Tell me about Monica Wilson before we get into Fastest Labs.
Right. So I was born in Bogota, in
Colombia.
And I grew up there. I was raised and grew up in Bogota. I went to school there. I studied political science and international relations.
Excellent.
Always wanted, to be in service of people, the community. And later on, I moved to the United States and made the States my home.
Okay.
When I first came, I lived in Gainesville. I went.
Oh, really? You lived in Gainesville? I didn't know you lived in Gainesville. How long did you live there?
I lived there for 2 years and a half. 2.5 years. We did. I met my husband there. And
okay.
He was student of UF, and I was in the international student program. So I was trying to improve my English and getting immersed into the culture, learning from, different aspects. I knew English in the basic level,
right.
But you are never ready until you really are one more within the
we're learning
community.
English every single day.
Exactly. Later on, we moved down here, right, in the Broward area. And before Fastest Labs, I had a great experience. I had the opportunity to work for several years in the construction industry.
Construction?
I did.
You worked in the construction industry? What did you do in the construction industry?
So I was the assistant of the vice president of pre-construction.
Okay.
I work in 2 firms, large general contractors in Broward. And with both of them, I learned a lot about different disciplines, right? Different aspects within the construction industry.
Okay.
A lot of discipline.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'd say, you're just like in Fastest Labs, in the construction business, you're also dealing with lives. You're dealing with people.
Correct.
You're dealing with, a lot of lives.
A lot.
Because if it's not done correctly, it could be very dangerous. And unfortunately, we've seen that down here with what happened in the beach several years ago.
Yes.
So you were in construction business.
I did.
Usually when somebody's in that business, it's very difficult for them to get out. Especially if they like it and they want to continue. And there's so much to do in that business.
Let's say that life gave me a second great gift, right? Okay. And it's my blessing. So I became a mommy.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And then I had the privilege, the blessed to spend time with my kids, and I dedicate a couple of years raising my children.
Excellent. And after that?
So then it was very organic. I knew there was a point where I was going to be transitioning and I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to have my own business. So things start happening naturally. And I wanted a business that was going to be the venue, my vehicle to help people. As a coincidence, through one of our other members of the chamber, he introduced me to an expert, and that person worked together with me, finding this.
So you must have looked at multiple franchises before you decided on Fastest Labs.
Not really.
No.
No, because they give you, they analyze you, you take tests for them to know your personality and to define what would be the best fit
For you.
for me. So they present a couple of options and I analyze and study, but fell in love with the purpose and with the meaning, with the vision of this company.
When did that happen?
It happened I was in Colombia actually when I first I made my first brush, right? And I decided to move forward. It was July of 2022.
So 2022, 2 years after the pandemic, and you decided, I'm going to go into business for myself, and I'm going to go and I'm going to be in the business. I'm going to call it a medical field because it really is. In a sense, you're helping doctors, you're helping patients, you're helping families, you're helping employers, you're helping employees. Because not only do you do blood work, you do pre-employment work for. When I worked at United Parcel Service at UPS, and I did that for 20 years, every year we would have to go and not only do our physical, but every time we hired an employee, we did background checks, we did drug testing. You do all of that. You do all the drug testing. You do, like you said earlier, you look at paternity test. You do, what other kinds of tests do you do at Fastest Labs?
So we are right now starting to look into more athletic, right? I have a boy, I have a son, and he's an athlete. So I'm trying to see what tests can be provided to the teams, because it's a new generation.
Oh, absolutely.
And they are being exposed to different things.
Oh my God, are they?
So because I have had clients at the labs, in both labs, I decided to promote different campaigns that involve a little more of the youth. So the vaping and some specific from athletics. I actually will be participating of one initiative is the Iman Foundation.
Okay.
It has to do with fentanyl, and it will be later on in August. But I am putting all my effort and commitment because, there's a lot of misinformation and very little can take
the
rest.
There is. And, I don't know how you do it, because I know how you and I did an event in Coral Gables, and we hosted you as the sponsor. And I saw that list of all the things that you guys can test for. And a lot of us need that, especially as an employer. You're looking to hire the right individual, especially when it's a high-end position. You want to make sure that you don't only do your criminal background checks and everything else, but you also do checks to make sure that, they're on the up and up, that they're not addicted to drugs, or they're, whatever.
There is so many substances that in the general, right, as a glance, many of us are not aware
That's
of their
absolutely
existence. Correct. And, all it takes is, to try it a couple of times, and then there is personalities that are addicted. So it's not necessarily, something that people grew up with. It can develop at any point in life. It can be, the triggers. And as you mentioned it, yes, I am part of that committee, right? That is supporting, every human being. Everybody can commit, can make mistakes. Everybody
absolutely
make the wrong choices. And we are here just to help. And that's what we do at the lab. We believe that people deserve second chances, and a lot of my clients are going through different processes. Some of them have to be with legal matters. Some of them has to do with addiction. Some of them are recovering from situations in life.
Sure.
And so definitely Facet Labs not only, provides services that help establish businesses that are established and have protocols. We also have, that human one-on-one.
You have the human side of it. It's not just about numbers or analysis or what came out. And many times, like when I go and I do my blood work and I go to Quest, I guess, or wherever it is that they send us.
Sure.
And they do that and they do the blood work and you see your readings and sometimes one's higher that it was never high, one's lower that was, never low. So it's important to know what is inside of you and what's changing you, because we all have different habits and we change as life goes on. Now we probably eat differently, or we sleep differently, or we drink differently, whatever, and that could be causing certain issues. And you have the opportunity to detect that early in life. You were talking about 2 labs.
Correct. So I have 2 locations.
Do you have 2 of them?
Now.
Where are they located?
So the first one, which will be soon 4 years old, my first baby.
Wow, 4 years old already.
Yeah, still young. But, it's going to be November. It's our anniversary. That first location is on Miami Airport. It's located on 36th Street and 72nd Avenue.
I know it very well. Very
right
well.
There.
There's a UPS facility right by there, 36th Street and 72nd.
UPS is one of our clients. We help them a lot.
Good.
And the second one, which is my second round, fortunately or unfortunately, things happen and I had to close my first location. Found a second great location, and it's in the first 6 months. It's starting to develop, not as quick as I probably would expect it.
Okay.
But it's in a great area. I am looking forward, to develop the brand and the services within
what
the
city is that one in?
It's Doral, West Doral.
Okay.
So that one is on 26 and 106, 105.
Okay.
So it's on the west side. And like I said, there is a different, it's demographics. So maybe I will be developing a little bit more on the paternity, maybe the siblingship, immigration. All the services are available at both locations. And I do also have the on-sites.
When you say immigration, tell me about that.
So there is a process, depends on the case. If the individual is requesting or trying to bring either a kid, right, a child, or the parent. So that relationship has to be determined and it has to be proved. They come and they have, every country has different parameters.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know that.
Yes. So they come and we help them to establish, and prove that relationship as being a legal and real relationship.
That's a great point and something for the listeners to know about.
Yes.
That is something that you offer that can help some of their family members that are trying to, I'm going to assume, get citizenship here as a U.S. citizen, and you've got to prove that is your child, and that of course, that's great.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, in your business, you're dealing with a lot of medical information. You're dealing with a lot of personal information, a lot of confidentiality. Tell me about that.
So, 2 aspects, right? Two different scenarios. When we work with the company is my client, everything gets shared between Facet Labs and the company, the client. At that level, the employees come and get their testing done. However, no results are going to be
Given
provided
to the
them.
employee.
No. So we don't exchange information. It's really it's very professional, actually. We need to certify, make sure that the person that is coming to visit us is the person that we are testing. But farther down, we do not necessarily use the identity, right? No social security, no, the driver license is what basically we use.
It's a certified form of ID.
Correct. So my communication, the lab with the company. Now in the personal level, right, when it's an individual that comes and visits us, everything is discretion, no confidentially 100%. We can even make tests that are anonymous because the person doesn't have to identify. They just probably want to come and find out
certain
if
things.
Something happened. There was a little spike in my drink. We have that panel that we call the club panel. The club is when you go out and are at risk and somebody can pour something
in your drink. Mm-hmm. Someone can definitely put something in your drink and make you feel. So you have a panel.
Yeah, we do.
You have you can do blood work that can
We don't do. No, it's not through blood.
Is it urine?
It's urine. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Now
at that level, when those cases normally people don't want to identify themselves.
Of course not.
And so we just do the analysis and we provide the service. We do the test, and a lot for me, it's positive and it's good that the results are negative. I haven't had any positive or non-negative results. That's how we refer to the positives as non-negative, which make us a lot. Feel better.
Sure. And how long does it take for the analysis to come back to the employer or the individual that's being tested?
So the regular pre-employment, your 5-panel, companies in South Florida test 5-panel or 10 panels in the background check.
Okay.
It takes about 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
So that's a pretty quick turnaround.
We do. We have it.
That's a very quick turnaround.
We do.
And how about
the individual?
Yes,
so
please.
The individual, it's a different. It's a different test because you have different categories. You can test hair, you can test nails, and you can test the urine. So if we send samples of hair, which provide you the history of 90 days back, it will take us 5 to 7 days.
90 days back. With hair.
Yeah, with hair.
Nails.
And the same thing with nails.
Urine is limited to only.
Yeah, depends on the substance.
Okay.
We know that the THC stays in your system for 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, we are going to detect the THC in your body for 30 days. It will show as non-negative. The other ones have a less margin, but if it's consumed within, that window, we will detect it.
Really? Mm-hmm. So if someone had a party drug, they took cocaine, and you can still detect it in their urine for a certain amount of days, almost up to 30 days?
No, up to 30 days. No, shorter. And it also has to do with the metabolism. Remember that everybody.
Not encouraging anyone to do any illegal drugs. We're not doing that, okay? Because Fastest Labs is going to catch you.
We will provide the service and help you to make sure that it's not what you thought it is. Definitely, it's a good way to help some individuals that they don't really know. They don't really know.
Absolutely.
So when they come, sometimes they think that it's something else. With the vaping, let's go back to that. There is a big campaign that I would like to develop with the high school. And, because high schoolers, they have these devices. It can be a pen, it can be a
Easily.
highlighter, and in reality, it's not that. It's a vape. And today, not only flavors and nicotine is being,
Consumed. There's other things that are being consumed in those vaping
Devices.
machines.
Yes.
And it's really affecting the health of our individuals, of our young people.
The young.
And it's a real shame.
It is.
I'd love to connect you with a lot of the Miami-Dade schools. I know you already have a lot of connections. So tell me, I see Monica Wilson, and thank you for being a Chamber South member, but I see you in Chamber South. I see you at the South Florida Hispanic Chamber. I see you at the Coral Gables Chamber, and you got a business to run. How do you do it all? How do you protect yourself, your relationships, your personal time, your mental health with everything that you do?
That's a great question. Balance. There is always time for everything. But let's say that my family is my priority.
Good.
I purposely this summer intentionally I'm dedicating a lot of time to my children, and
Good.
I'm enjoying it a lot. It fills me. It gives me all
It
the
does,
energy
doesn't it?
back.
It gives you all that energy that
it's
you need.
Beautiful. In any other moment of the year, I do search, right? I do look at what is available in terms of networking events. And I have established a rule of participating, but I also need to see, I cannot
can't
put
go
all
to
my
everything.
eggs in the same basket. So
No,
I
you
cannot
can't.
do it all. I am enjoying some more than others, right?
We always do.
So, but I also do a lot of personal time, right? So it's very important, has been always my rule. My girlfriends, people that know me very close, knows that I do see my girlfriends at least twice a month.
Good.
And I love to go out, have dinner and laugh. Sometimes we sing, sometimes we dance, sometimes we go to the movies, go to a play. I haven't done it lately, but I used to do a lot of bath sound and wellness classes.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it grounds you and it helps you a lot to kind of slow down and recharge.
You know what? What you just said, Monica, goes for everyone out there, because we're out there and you've heard the saying, if you're not networking, you're not working. And it's true, because you never know who you're going to meet at a networking event. But you got to pick your battles. You can't go to everything. You cannot attend every single event, every night network, or every lunch and every breakfast. You got to pick 1 or 2 events a month with whatever organization you're with, and go visit them. Let the people know about your business. Let them know what you do, and really focus on trying to get, the time that you spend for it to be valuable. It's not always going to happen, but many times you're going to find some great people out there.
I agree, 100%.
And it's going to do great. What else would you like our listeners to know about Fastest Labs and about Monica Wilson?
I would love to leave our time together this morning by inviting everybody to see a little bit farther than, the pre-screening, the DNA services, the background check. I am the owner of the Fastest Labs, and I think that is a lot bigger than just a screening lab office that provides 3-4 services. I think that Fastest Labs is the vehicle that is giving me the opportunity to develop one of my beliefs in life, that is, the more you give, the more you receive.
There's no doubt.
And I am getting more involved with the community, because I feel that definitely not all of us are as blessed, and there's others that really need the help.
How can they get a hold of you, Monica? How can they reach you?
So you guys can, visit both of our websites. Is, www.fastestlabs.com. One /Miami or /West Miami.
Okay.
They can also reach me via email, right? Monica.w@fastestlabs.com. And well, through
Monica.w@fastestlabs.com. Okay. Well, thank you for your time today, Monica. It was interesting to hear what else does Fastest Labs do, and how did Monica fall into that?
Thank you for
But
the
congratulations. It's not easy being a business owner in today's world. So I tip my hat off to you. Continue the great work. Continue the relationships. Continue the networking. Also continue taking time for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Okay? On 3, we're going to